see you here tonight, especially all you girls and boys. It's a very exciting time of year, and I hope our story will add a little more excitement to the holidays. My name is Beth Bradley. At least it used to be Bradley before I got married. And this is the story of Christmas when I was a kid. Every year, our town had a Christmas pageant. All the kids played parts and all the parents helped out. And Mrs. Armstrong was always the director. Except in 1958, the year I was 12, and that year, the pageant almost didn't happen. This is my family. Of course, they looked a lot different then, and so did I, so let's go back in time.
Hello, Beth, dear.
Hello, Mrs. Hunter.
Let me take those for you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
This is my dad, Bob Bradley, and my mom, Grace, and my little brother, Charlie.
For food that stays our hunger, for rest that gives us ease, for no herdmans at our Sunday school, we give our thanks for these.
And that's how it got started, the Herdmans. The Herdmans were the worst kids in school. There were 7 of them. Ralph, Imogen, Claude, Olive, Gladys, Billy, and Ralph. And they went through Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones. They went around the town the same way, stealing things, tearing things up, whamming little kids. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls. They talked dirty and hit little kids. They cussed their teachers and took the Lord's name in vain. They set fire to Fred Shoemaker's tool shed and stole all the donuts that somebody sent from the fire. Come on, Bob, hurry up! Come on! Don't like her!
For rest that gives us ease, for no herdmans at our Sunday school, we give our thanks for these.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one? Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you...
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong that you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Oh, everybody's in it. Think how I would feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I didn't plan to go. You know how crowded it always is. They can just use my seat. I'll just sit home, alone in my bathrobe, relax. There's never anything different about the pageant.
There's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Eleanor Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. She's sick of being Joseph just because her father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, why can't Charlie be the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. Away in a manger always sounds to me like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice, a bathrobe or bed sheets. Come on, let's go watch TV.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, of course. She directs the pageant, she's chairman of the bazaar, she runs the potluck supper. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Well, maybe she'll try doing it from the hospital because that's where she is. I saw George at the drugstore this morning and he told me that his wife broke her leg. She'll be convalescing in the hospital for 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Why, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
No, but she's in charge of the pageant and the bazaar, and I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all of those things?
Did you hear about Helen Armstrong?
No, she broke her leg.
No, she didn't! Yes, she did! What about the Christmas pageant?
Yes, Edna, I'll take over the bazaar. Only if you take over the potluck supper. I don't know what we'll do about the pageant, but how about Grace?
I simply can't, Irma. I have company all Christmas break. How about Grace?
How about Grace? Hello? Grace?
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you'd call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing to have happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story with the same old Christmas carols and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother is stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
I'll tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. First, I tell them about Mary, and that we must choose our Mary very carefully because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
And then I tell them about Joseph and that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain it. Frankly, I don't want to spend much time on Joseph because it's always Eleanor Hopkins. She knows all about Mary and Joseph.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was convalescent. How could she talk on the phone if she's convalescent?
What do you think convalescing means?
Like, they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Beth, we need salt and pepper and napkins.
But I do explain the shepherds and the wise men. And I tell them there are no small... And I tell them there are no small parts, only small actors. And about the angel choir, don't let them stare at the audience, and don't let them wear clicky shoes or high heels or things like that. I just hope you don't have too many of them, Grace, because they'll be your biggest problem.
You will leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy Herdman stole my lunch again today.
How can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the cake?
I don't know. Grace, where's the cake?
It's still in the oven.
I'll get it.
You'll need someone to push on the angel choir, otherwise they'll get in each other's way and bend their wings. Bob could do that! And you could get the shepherds on too. Oh. And another thing about the angel choir, don't let them wear red lipstick. They think just because it's a play that they have to wear lipstick and it looks awful. I have to tell you, don't let them wear...
There's someone at my door, Helen. I have to go.
And it looks terrible.
I'll talk to you later, Helen. Yes, I'm coming.
Lady, can you give me some supper? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days!
Oh, for heaven's sake, it's you.
What? I was lonely at the table.
Well, I guess Helen feels lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
I'll bet she told you all about no small parts, only small actors.
Yeah, and getting somebody to shove the baby Yankees on and making the shepherd shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
And Grace, one more thing. Don't use just anybody's baby for the baby Jesus. get a quiet one. Better get two if you can. That means if one turns out to be fussy, you can always use the other.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think of problems, and there weren't going to be any problems. But my mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, you give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid, here.
You stole my dessert again.
Yeah? Well, how do you know?
Because it isn't here.
Well, what was it?
2 Twinkies.
All right, that's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day, and you know what? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school.
What kind of dessert?
Cookies and cupcakes and candy bars. We get the refreshments all the time, all we want.
You're a liar!
And donuts and Twinkies and big wheels.
Well, who gives it to you?
The minister.
Why, is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh?
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, they were there. In Sunday school. Just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
Okay, kids, let's head on into church.
It's your favorite time of day, the time I get to get rid of you. My goodness, you trust your child like that. We have a reputation. Hey, Alice, is this where you sign up for Sunday school? Why do you want to know? Because I'm signing up. You? Yeah, me. You want to make something out of it? No. Good. What's going on in there anyways? We're rehearsing for the pageant. What's a pageant? It's like play. A play like on TV? What's it about? It's about Jesus. Everything in there is. Well, and it's about Mary, mostly. It's about Mary. Who's Mary? I am. Or, well, probably I am. I know the part. You can't marry
All right, ladies, choir practice.
Practice. Be good, honey.
Okay, children, let's settle down. This won't take long if you're all quiet. Now, today we are going to be deciding who will play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. But of course, everyone will have an important part to play. Just like Mrs. Armstrong always says, there are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Mrs. Armstrong always says?
Yeah, that's what she says. She doesn't mean it.
Don't you know what it means?
Oh, I know what it means. It means that the short kids have to stand in the front row of the angel choir or else no one can see them.
Not exactly. It really means that the littlest angel is just as important as Mary.
Mrs. Bradley, I don't think that anyone is as important as Mary.
Naturally, that's what you would think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think it means the short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Louise, will you step out into the hall and see if anyone else is coming?
Yes, Mrs. Bradley.
Thank you, Louise. Now, you little children will be our angels, which means that you'll need bed sheets, so please remind your mothers of this. Make sure that the bed sheets don't have anything on them, because it's very important that you look like a very nice angel.
Look at that.
You will also be required to make the angels okay, so that you all just look beautiful and glowing. Isn't this exciting, children?
Louise is screaming like, yeah, me too. Alright, come on.
What?
Why are we here?
The desserts?
Exactly, now we're over here.
Well, I don't see them, maybe they're like they go. I don't know.
Well, let's make some room for the Herdmans.
Yeah, let's just sit down. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I don't see the food. Better. Yeah, well.
Okay. What happened to Louise?
She's sick.
Did she say that she was sick?
No. All I did was I just said, "Hi, Louise," and she left.
Bye, Louise.
I see. Well, will someone please tell Louise about rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? Plan to be here for everyone.
Mrs. Bradley, what happens if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely not get sick.
If they get sick.
They won't get sick, Eleanor.
Well, Louise got sick and we haven't started yet.
We don't know that Louise got sick.
Oh, no.
Okay. Now I want everyone to think about Mary. We all know what kind of a person Mary was. She was gentle and quiet and kind, and the girl who plays Mary should try to be that kind of a person. Are there any volunteers for the part? Yes, Imogene, do you have a question?
No, I would like to be married. And Ralph here, he'd like to be Joseph.
Yeah, that's right. I want to be Joseph.
Joseph.
Yeah,
Joseph.
no, yeah.
Well, I'll just make a list of all the names, and then we can decide who will play the parts later. Ralph Herdman has volunteered to be Joseph. What other names can I put on my list? Eleanor, did you raise your hand? No. Please, raise your hand. Any volunteers? Any of you wise men? Very well. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph.
Joseph.
Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. What other names can I put on my list? Janet, Roberta, Alex, don't you want to volunteer?
No, thank you. I'll be married. Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You can be a wise man.
Shut up, then.
Well, the wise men are usually boys. Of course they don't have to be. We could always...
I'll be a wise man.
Me too. Claude, want to be a wise man? Raise your hand.
What's a wise man?
I want to be a wise man. You can't be a wise man. You're already Joseph. Yeah, but I don't want to be Joseph. That means I have to be married to Imogene, and she smells. It does smell like that.
You take that back!
Children, sit down!
Sit down.
That's better. There will be no more fighting.
Yeah.
Now, who would like to be the second wise man?
What is a wise man? Just keep your hand raised.
Okay.
I don't care.
Who would like to be the third wise man?
I'll do it. You can't be a wise man. You're a girl. So? She said it has to be a boy. What's left to be?
An angel.
Oh, I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds and gives them the good news. We do have some volunteers after all. Yes, Janet, would you like to be a wise man?
No. I was just about to say, I can't be a wise man. I'm going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I forgot.
And, my mom doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said, don't be a shepherd.
Well, I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What is the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman, it's
Eleanor, that's ridiculous. Gladys isn't going to hit anyone. The angel of the Lord just comes to the shepherds and tells them that Jesus is born. And she hits them! That's ridiculous, and I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. There will be no more fighting. Now, that's all for today, boys and girls. You can go home, but I expect to see everyone back here on Wednesday.
What?
Where are the desserts?
I want cake.
I just promised desserts. Come on.
There will be dessert at the next rehearsal.
Next rehearsal! And we're watching.
Come on, Don't touch me. Alice, what is wrong with you? Why in the world did you volunteer? I don't know. You don't know? Alice, I expected you to volunteer. Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
here. And then this fall, when the corn stalks ripen, I'll take an ear of corn and I'll shove it so far up your nose that it comes out your eyeball.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Herdmans will do anything. Just you wait. They're gonna do something so terrible it ruins the whole pageant, and it'll be all your mom's fault.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Bradley. How was the first pageant rehearsal?
Well, Reverend, you might say
I'm
that.
sure everything went just splendidly.
Well, actually, we had a few challenges.
And I'm sure you did a first-rate job overcoming them.
You see, Reverend...
We're all so grateful to you for taking over from Miss Armstrong. The pageant is so important to our dear little children, and you're making it all possible.
I know, but Reverend...
Oh, would you look at the time? I have a few more shuttles to visit before dinner time, so I'd better be running along. Keep up the good work, my dear. We're all counting on you.
Yeah, Mom, we're all counting on you.
Oh, dear.
Jane, Anna McCarthy here. Did you hear
The
about
Herdmans?
I don't believe they actually showed up at Sunday school and bullied their way into the pageant.
No, they didn't. Yes, they did.
Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else would the 7 of them end up in the pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Ought to be in jail.
Ought to be in jail.
Vera, Irma Wendelkin here. I've just heard that Imogene Hartman will be playing Mary in this year's Christmas pageant, and What? All 7 of them? Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Has Grace
gone crazy? Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Hartman. What kind of child is that to be Mary, the mother of Jesus? Where was the Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm a shut-in and he wasn't visiting me.
Well, I said, why don't you let them hand out programs at the door? Well, Grace said, we never have programs for the pageant. But I said...
Better nail down the church, better lock up the silver service, better hide the communion plates before they wipe us out!
Couldn't she have told them to go home, to run along somewhere else? Oh, I feel so responsible. If only I were up and around, this never would have happened.
Never would have happened!
Never would have happened.
If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me. I'm on your side. The car is over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman in the world who can direct a Christmas pageant. I had made up my mind to do just the best I could under the circumstances, but now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hand and no one else did, and I don't care.
Good for you, Grace. The car is over there.
And you're going to help me. Does that mean? Yes, you have to go. And you're going to sing in the choir.
What's an inn?
Well, it's like a motel where people go and they spend the night.
What people, like Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel?
Shut up, Olin! Everyone, shut up! I want to hear from her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
Yeah, the beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible?
Who's the Bible?
Well, it's what our play is about, so I guess that I should read it to you.
I don't believe that. Do you? That they've never heard the Christmas story?
Well, they've never been to church before in their whole lives, so they've probably never even looked at a Bible.
All right. There went up a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, who was great with child.
That means she was pregnant.
Yes, we all know Mary was pregnant. And while they were there, it came to pass that she should be delivered, and she brought forth her firstborn son.
Mrs. Bradley, I don't think that you should say Mary was pregnant. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
What? They didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, they didn't know that the baby was going to be Jesus.
Well, didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What's the matter with Joseph anyway? Him not telling them? Her pregnant and everything?
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in a bureau drawer.
That's true.
Well, there you have it. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
We had a bed, only all of us still using it, and she doesn't like Gladys. Remember how you didn't like Gladys?
Still don't.
That's pretty smart of Olive not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough used for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
The wadded up clothes? It said somewhere in there that he was wrapped in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap up babies in big pieces of material very tightly to make them feel cozy.
What? They tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare? The child welfare's in our house every 5 minutes.
Wasn't child welfare in Bethlehem?
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch over their flock by night, and the angel of the Lord and the glory of
Shazam! Out of the black night with horrible vengeance, the great mighty marvel appeared to them.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The great mighty marvel from Amusing Comics? Out of the black night?
Gladys, this is the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? Yeah. Black night, right?
Right.
Well, in a way.
Shazam.
Now, it came to pass while they were there that there were wise men coming from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Ooh, what's that?
They were special things, spices and precious oil.
Oil? What kind of a present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare, the wise men?
They were kings, and they were
Oh, geez, well, it's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, they can get the baby into a room and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was, well, he was the main king, and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
What? They wanted to kill a baby? He was just born.
Wait a second. Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
Whoa! Herod's out to kill Jesus, and he's not even in the play?
Well, somebody's got to be Herod. Charlie! Let Charlie Hey, go give me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's a king and all. But then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod.
I'm not going to be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod.
No, but Joseph he'll gather up all the shepherds, and then they're gonna go, and they're gonna go and wipe out Herod!
You're gonna put one in and it's going to be me and I'll get killed.
Forget about Herod. There are no Herod.
And hey, I'll run away with the baby until the fight's over.
Somebody has to go get rid of the innkeeper. Gladys, you go fix the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel. Well, I wouldn't just hang around out in the barn. I'd to go get a room.
But Imogene, you can't. They said there was no more room.
Well, then I'd walk inside and say, hey, I got this baby here in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
So either get out or move over.
All right, I got it.
I'd go after old Harry.
Oh, I'd send the angel after Harry. She would just point her electric finger at him and turn into a pile of
Wait. What's the name of this place? She never said.
I
got one. Christmas pageant.
That's no name, that's what it is.
Oh, I know what it is.
Okay.
We'll call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
Revenge at Bethlehem. The Herdmans thought that the Christmas story came straight from the FBI files. At least they picked out the right villain. It was Herod they were after, and not baby Jesus. But our baby Jesus quit anyways. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't going to let Imogene Herdman get her hands on her baby. So we didn't have a baby, and that made my mother mad. And she was trying to scrape up a baby even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
Nothing. It's my diary.
It is not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys drinks communion wine. It's not wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple from that stuff. And they steal too. If you go into the church and shake the birthday bag, it's not going to make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And if you go into the ladies' bathroom, the whole air will be blue with smoke. Imogene Herdman will be sitting there in my Mary costume, smoking a cigar.
And you wrote this all down, what for?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid Society and anyone else that wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turned out to be a big mess.
All right, children, let's settle down now. Now, will you and Alice come up here so that we can get started? Now, this is our last rehearsal, so we're going to...
Grace, I just wanted to tell you that we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. I guess this is your dress rehearsal.
It's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear your niece had a baby a month or so ago? A little girl?
Yes, she's 5 weeks old and she's just the cutest little baby girl.
Well, I wonder how it would be if I were to call your niece and ask if I could borrow.
Grace, no. I can make up some lie and tell you the baby's sick or cranky or something. But the truth is that she's perfectly happy, healthy, and beautiful, and we all want her to stay that way. So we're certainly not going to hand her over to Imogene Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley, you can use my little brother for Jesus.
I didn't know you had a new baby, Susie.
Well, he's not new. He's 4 years old. But he is double jointed, so we can probably scrunch him up somehow.
I don't think that that's a good idea.
I can get us a baby.
How can you do that?
Well, at the grocery store every day, there's at least 3 or 4 babies in carriages outside. I can just grab one of those.
Imogene, you can't just walk off with somebody's baby. Okay, forget about the baby. We'll just use the doll.
Yeah, that's a better idea anyways. Dolls can't fight.
Oh, and Imogene, you know that Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to keep these in. If I take them out, they'll close up.
It won't close up in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys. Oh, and I'll bet she did it with an ice pick. And I'll bet Imogene's ears turn black and fall off.
Well, we'll just find something smaller. Okay. Now, are those your costumes? You are all supposed to be wearing your costumes today.
I can't have my halo. Susie's got my halo, and Janet's got my bow. Can I see the stars on it?
And where's your sheep costume?
I haven't got a costume. I was never a sheep before.
Just wear your father's bathrobe. That's what the shepherds have to do.
He doesn't have a bathrobe.
What does he hang around the house in?
He's underwear!
Well, just pretend that you're all wearing costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, but first we're going to practice just the entrances so everyone please go to your places. Just read the last few words, Maxine.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them in
Shazam! Out of the black night, horrible vengeance!
No, Gladys. Keep going, Maxine.
a multitude of the heavenly hosts.
Music, angels.
Angels we have heard on high.
Okay. Music, wise men.
We three kings of Orient are.
Smoking on our rubber cigars. They were loaded and exploded.
Hey! I got this baby here.
Oh, baby,
Don't
baby,
touch him.
baby.
I named him Jesus.
No. You don't say that. You don't say anything. What? None of you are supposed to be saying anything during the
anything? Some angel shows up and tells me what to name my baby? I would have named him Bill. What a terrible thing to say.
Which angel was it? There's too many of them around here. You know, I bet it was Gladys. Oh, ow!
No, Gladys brings the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah, unto you a child is born. No, unto me, not them, me. I'm the one who had to have the baby.
No, that just means that Jesus is for everyone. Unto all of us, the child is born.
Why didn't they let Mary name her own baby? An angel came down and said, name him Jesus.
Yeah. Yes.
I know what the angel said.
What did you know?
She said, he shall be called Wonderful, Counselor,
Yep.
Mighty God,
Sure.
Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Yeah, he never would have gotten out of the first grade with that name.
Right away. And that made my mother mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
There was a lot of smoke. The room was full of thick smoke.
There couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now the church is full of firemen and the street is full of little angels crying and shepherds climbing all over the fire truck and half of the neighborhood. Didn't you realize that it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't realize it was cigar smoke. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Alice Wendell's mother was mad too, and the whole Ladies' Aid Society was mad. And Reverend Hopkins said he didn't know what to think.
I have been on the telephone all day, and I can't make heads or tails of it. Some people say they set fire to the ladies' room. Other people say they set fire to the kitchen. Vera Wendelkin says all they do is talk about sex, underwear.
That was Susie Clark talking about underwear, and the only fire was in the kitchen where the applesauce cake burned up.
Well, the whole church is in uproar. I don't know. Jesus said, suffer the little children to come unto me. But I'm not sure he meant the Hardmans. Grace, don't you think we should cancel the pageant?
I'll bet that was Mrs. Armstrong's idea.
We could blame it on the fire. It does make a good excuse.
I'll bet that was Mrs. Wendelkin's idea.
Grace, everyone seems to think it's going to be,
A disaster? Well, they're wrong. It is going to be the best Christmas pageant ever.
But Grace, I don't think anyone will come to see it.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie. But we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the church was jam full. Everyone came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Alright, wait until I turn the lights on and watch your step.
I can't even see where I'm going. I don't know what in the world you want me to do with this thing.
I wanted to find a palm tree, but the closest I could get was a Christmas tree. Help me decorate it. I don't know what in the world is going to happen tonight. We've never gone through the whole pageant once, and the Herdmans still think it's some kind of spy story. It might be the only Christmas pageant ever where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight, and Mary runs away with the baby. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are down in the basement putting on bed sheets.
I mean, our kids.
We're here.
Well, go put your costumes on. It's getting late.
You know, this is just gonna be awful. They look like trick or treat or something. All fastened together with safety pins and wearing their old moldy sneakers. Mary and Joseph, I mean. They look like refugees.
Well, that's kind of what they were. Mary and Joseph. They were refugees in a way. You know, they were a long way from home, they didn't have a place to stay, and they didn't know anybody. They were probably just cold and hungry and tired and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure are messy.
All right, children, go put on your costumes. Do you think that I should?
No, I think you worry way too much. Now, I'm going to push baby angels on stage, and then I'm going to hand out stabs and then push them out on stage. And then I'm going to go sing in the choir. When do I do all of that?
Just follow the script.
Oh, okay, let's see. Oh, baby angels, shepherds, wise men. You know, it doesn't seem to say here where the fire engines come in. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Okay, everyone, come out on stage. I just want to see how your costumes look.
Imogen, walk a little faster.
Why don't we have to wear dresses?
I don't know. I know it's a big guy.
What's that?
Stop it.
Wow, okay.
Okay, children. Well, Reverend Hopkins, what do you think?
Well, we'll just see, won't we?
Gladys, where is your halo?
Billy.
Okay, there are extra down in the basement. Go put one on.
Oh, okay, but listen. I think I have to say something other than the baby king. Why would they go up and chase after some baby they don't even know? I have to tell them it's Jesus, and I have to tell them where he is. Imogen, no!
No, Gladys, you tell them unto you a child is born. And that is all that you tell them. Okay, everyone, let's all go backstage and try to be quiet. Old people are coming in. And good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, after don't say good luck, after say break a leg.
For those of you that don't know, it's everyone, let's all go to your places.
I knew that.
Yeah, okay. And Imogene, I remember that that's a baby. And for tonight at least, it's the baby Jesus. Now, Gertrude.
Following your
Come on, hurry up, go. Go anytime. Come on, go.
The shepherds also departed, praising God for all they had seen and heard.
Come on, hurry, follow me. He's about to come. Come on, hurry, follow me.
But Mary kept all of these things and pondered them in her heart.
I thought it was wonderful. It was simply wonderful.
Ladies, I think this was the best Christmas pageant we ever had. And I'm not sure why, but I think it was because of them, the Herdmans.
They were very sweet, weren't they? Who would have ever imagined it? Definitely.
I had complete faith in the Herdmans all along.
Ladies, I'll be running along. If any of you would like a ride, I have plenty of room.
Oh, yes. I'm all set. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I will see you soon. Merry Christmas.
That was the best Christmas pageant we've ever had. It was simply lovely.
Oh, I always get weepy during the pageants. And you're right. This was the best Christmas pageant we've ever had, and it could have been the worst.
There was just something different about it.
The angel of the Lord was certainly different.
Yes, I know, but I like that. Had lots of spirit. Sometimes you can't even hear the angel of the Lord.
I thought she was lovely. Simply lovely.
If only you'd have let them use your nephew as the baby Jesus.
Well, whoever was the baby Jesus was certainly precious.
It was a doll.
Oh, that was no doll, Irma.
It seems so real.
It did seem real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought Christmas was about Jesus, but it was more than that. It's about a new baby and his mother and father who were in a no place to go, and nobody they know, and no doctor. But then, arriving from the east, some rich friends, like my uncle from New Jersey. Because of the Herdmans, our Christmas pageant had a whole new story. Imogen birthing the baby, the wise men bringing such sensible gifts, and even Gladys, go see him, he's in the barn, so that the shepherds didn't have to stumble around the countryside looking for him. I guess it wasn't like that for Imogen, though. For Imogen, Christmas turned out to be all wonder and mystery. We had a party in the church basement afterwards, but they didn't stay. They didn't have hot chocolate, they didn't take off with all the cookies, and they wouldn't even take their candy canes.
I guess that's about it. Any kids left downstairs?
No, everyone's gone home. You know you're wearing your bathrobe. You aren't going to wear it out in public, are you?
Why not? Maybe people will think I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken for a shepherd in the pageant.
Oh, yes, you would. When it was over, some lady came up to me and hugged me because I was a shepherd. What should we do with this ham?
It's the Herdman's ham from their welfare basket, but they wouldn't take it back. Leroy said it's a gift, and you don't take back a gift.
Leroy said that? They must hate ham.
You and Alice Wendell can.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
You know, that's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas, kids.
It's almost Christmas, Charlie.
Come on, kids. Let's go home.
So now you know what happened the year the Herdmans joined our Christmas pageant. From then on, they were always in it. I get to direct the Christmas pageant now. My own kids are in it. And I get lots of help from my husband. And Ralph took over for Reverend Hopkins after he retired.
You know, my dear, I think tonight's Christmas pageant was the best one ever.
I agree.
It's almost Christmas. Time to go home.
It's almost Christmas.